panic does not equal progress. Hi everyone, this is Tiffany with Raising House and Home, and today's video we are going to talk about the food shortages that have been in the news. And if you have been watching YouTube for a long time, if you've been watching my channel for a while, we've been talking about it for quite some time. And now that it's becoming more in the media and they're picking up on the story, and I think a lot of people are now starting to see it in their area, whereas before there were just kind of spotty hit or miss places that were experiencing these shortages. And so I think it is becoming more widespread. I think more states and areas are noticing it. And now that the media is picking it up, people are kind of taking it more seriously. So if you don't know, or you haven't really been watching videos or reading too many of the news stories, a lot of the food supply issues comes from the ships. The cargo ships have been stuck in their ports, or they couldn't get to their ports. We have trucking industry that has been kind of wiped out a little bit because of the thing that's going around. They are too sick to work. We have a workforce that just isn't there. So you need people in the warehouses to move the things. You need people to make the items and to pack the items. And when people have been getting the thing, they have been staying out, whether they were sick or whether there was the mandate where if you test positive for this thing, at first you had to stay out for 2 weeks, whether you were sick or not, so that you wouldn't spread it. So there's 2 weeks just out, and then also there may be people who are sick who cannot come to work. So you're experiencing that. People are starting to work from home, and they kind of had to because childcare and the schools were closed and they didn't have much of a choice. So you're kind of combating that. And then there also was the weather issues that we had for the crops, and that has created a lot of issues. You also have China, who has been stocking up, and I guess I don't want to say hoarding, but they've been, putting a lot of food away, which has also created some issues in the supply. So there are many, 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 many reasons why this is happening. So it's kind of like the perfect storm. And you really can't put your finger and point it at any one reason, because they're all contributing. And I know that we have heard, oh, it's the preppers, it's the hoarders, like that's the first thing. And I think part of that is because that's the people that they can see. So you're not going to see, we're not seeing the Chinese government taking the food, right? You don't see that on a daily basis. You might hear about it, but you don't physically, personally see that. You're not seeing the ship stuck. You're not witnessing that every day. But what you can see is that the shelves are empty. You can see somebody who might have a full cart. So it's so much easier to point the finger at the thing you can see right in front of you. But in reality, that's not the problem. And so, I think that we need to just kind of maybe not pay so much attention to the why, but start focusing on how. How can we make sure that our family has enough food? How can we responsibly store extra food for our family and not contribute to the problems? So I think that's where the planning comes in. And I'm very grateful that it is starting to be more widespread in the media because more people are taking it seriously. But I think that once it gets to the media, it's kind of past the point of it resolving quickly, because if they're starting to report it then they're easing us into it. And they're easing us into these shortages. Now, I know there are some people who think that they may start rationing. That's happened before in history. So that isn't exactly out in left field. These are things that have happened, and we need to kind of look at our history, and we are so blessed to have the written word and information from our ancestors, and we really should heed some of the things that they've been through or they went through and learn from them. So, I mean, I don't think it's that we're going to ration, but who knows? It could happen. I don't think we should ever say never. So, you know, the best thing that you can do is to provide for your own family. And I think it's good to talk about it and to realize that we don't need to panic. So if you haven't been a prepper for long, or if you haven't started prepping at all, just don't start panicking now, because panic does not equal progress. It may give you that little fire under your bum to get you moving and to take action, but it's not sustainable long term. So we really want to go more into the mode of preparing and planning. And that is what's going to make the most difference and be the most benefit to you and your family. And I think we are, as parents, this channel is Raising House and Home, so I focus mostly on being parents and having a family, but you know, people who are single, who are living alone, it's a little different because they only have to worry about their needs and maybe their neighbors if they want to keep a few things on hand for trading, or you know, just for helping out their neighbors. But when you're a parent and you have other people that you have to worry about and you have to keep their tummies full, it brings a different complexity of emotions, and it makes it a little bit more challenging because you have to have more to supply your family. So what I want to recommend is sitting down and making a plan. Plan out, what exactly do you eat? What exactly does your family eat? How much do you actually eat? You know, what types of things do you like to cook? All of those things to kind of take into consideration. I think part of the problem that happens is people do get panicky and they just start buying things that they see. So they're not really thinking through, you know, 40 pounds of beans, while it's great to have on hand, if you don't usually eat beans or your kids don't really usually eat them, it's not going to be that much of a benefit for you, and you kind of have to have other things to go with it. So if you're just buying like huge bags of beans and rice, it's really going to be a waste of money. And if you end up not needing them and you aren't able to incorporate them into your daily food menu plans, then it's going to go to waste and it's just going to create more panic. So I think definitely don't feel bad about purchasing things and stocking up for your family. I know that there are some people that say you're hoarding food or you're adding or contributing to this shortage. And in reality, most preppers aren't. Most people have been prepping for many years and they do it slowly over time because, number one, money. Number two, they just know to kind of keep things coming in as a stream and not all at once. And it's more sustainable that way. So definitely don't feel bad about taking care of your family and buying some extra food. And if you are kind of more mindful of what you actually purchase, it causes less of a burden on the supply chain. So again, back to the beans and rice. If you're just buying whatever you see and you don't have a plan for it, that is kind of contributing to some of the issues. So just be mindful, sit down, make a plan, talk with your kids, you know, talk about different foods they like, and even start trying new foods now. buy a little bit of the beans and then try to incorporate that into your daily meals and see which ones do your children like. They may like the red kidney beans and they may not like the navy beans, or vice versa. Just kind of play with it right now. And then when you find something that your family does like and that you can cook and make meals from, then go ahead and get more of a higher stock of that. And I think, you know, we have been lucky that we haven't experienced this type of food shortages or issues with our food like our ancestors have. And it really wasn't that long ago. You know, my grandmother always had things kind of tucked away. And we've just been lucky the past few, you know, maybe decades. But it is something that has happened in the past. I think that it is disingenuous for people who say, oh, that'll never happen, or, oh, the tin hats, because in reality, it has happened. It's happened many times. And I don't think that it's silly to consider how to provide for your family and how to keep your family fed. I don't think any of that is silly at all. And I know that, you know, things have been said for a long time, especially within the YouTube community, that have been trying to warn everybody that this was coming. And a lot of people, maybe out of fear, say, oh no, oh, that's silly, that'll never happen. You know, that's whatever they say, you know, they kind of downplay it. And I don't think all of it is just to be mean or to be judging. I think some of it comes from fear because they don't want that to be true. And unfortunately it is. I mean, we need to be more self-sufficient. We need to rely on ourselves more. And that's just where we're at. And I think there is a way to do it without the panic and without, you know, the worry and all of that. So I hope that you guys are able to sit down and make your plan. And even if you don't have a whole lot of money, there's so many videos, and I'm going to be doing a series of videos on how to stock up without spending a lot of money. I know everyone's money is kind of tight right now because the prices of things like gas and everything have gone up so high. And some people have had to shift jobs because their job before the pandemic is no longer there. And that's all creating some of this, these issues. So take some deep breaths. It's going to be okay. Just have a plan. Plan, not panic. And I hope you continue to watch my videos to get some more ideas on how to do that and how to make your plans. And if you like this video, please click like below. Also subscribe and click the notification bell so you'll be notified when I put up new videos. And I hope you're all happy, safe, and healthy, and just taking some deep breaths because we will get through this. Until next time, bye.